I want you to make this affirmation on today. I will face my circumstances with courageous faith. The truth about God is that He often works His will through adverse situations. We saw this with last week's lesson with Daniel and the lion's den, and many of us can testify to seeing this play out even in our own lives. But what it takes to get through the trials that are set before us is courageous faith. Today's lesson is highlighting Esther. Esther was a Jewish woman who became queen of Persia after the Persian Queen Vashti lost her position. Esther, being of Jewish descent, did not reveal her cultural identity to the king. Now let's fast forward to Esther chapter 3, where we see Haman, a disgruntled Agagite, a descendant of Agag, who has convinced the king to pronounce a death sentence to all the Jews in the kingdom. This would mean death to the king's beloved Esther as well. God always has a perfect plan, and Esther was placed in the kingdom for such a time as this. In spite of the king's request for no one to appear before him, Esther was determined to appear before the king, even though she hadn't been called. This action could have led to her losing her position and most likely have led to her being killed. However, Esther faced her circumstance with courageous faith. In Esther 4:16, paraphrasing, she says, "Go and gather the Jews and fast, and me and my maidens will fast as well, and I will appear before the king, which is against the law, and if I perish, I perish." The king ultimately had favor on Esther, but it was her courage which allowed her to be used by God in saving her people. During seasons of life, we find ourselves safely nestled in God's blessed favor. But there are seasons in life where, although still safe in God's arms, on the exterior, it looks scary and unfavorable. I'm here to remind you that even in those bleak situations, God still has you covered. We still have His favor over our life. We now just have an opportunity to act courageously and to stand on God's promise of protection. If we stay in close relationship with God, we have nothing to fear. For in His word, He tells us that He has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So stay encouraged, because I promise God has you covered. God bless you.